Hi folks, thanks very much for joining us. My name is Nick and we're going to do a run through here of 1 or 2 turns of fantastic battles. I will be commanding a goblin horde led by King Scrotrot on a wyvern. We have 2 units of goblin warriors, one consisting of 2 companies, one consisting of 3 companies, a unit of trolls consisting of 2 companies, a single goblin battle wagon, a single giant, and a unit over here of goblin wolf riders consisting of 2 companies. Any traits that are important I'll bring up while we do the run through, but this army has a racial trope of unreliable. So all goblin units, that is the warriors, the battle wagon, and the wolf riders, are all unreliable. And I'll explain what that means as we go in. I am joined by Laura.
Hello.
And Laura will be taking on the role of King Gargamesh. Indeed. And King Gargamesh is a Ziggurat dwarf warlord. He has 2 units of dwarven shield bearers, each consisting of 3 companies, a unit of dwarven acolytes riding their flying carpets, a unit of Highland auxiliaries over here, and he's assisted by a captain. Captain. We didn't give him a name. So, each turn of Fantastic Battles is broken down into 3 phases. There's a shooting phase, an action phase, and a melee phase. The shooting phase and the melee phase are simultaneous, so it doesn't matter in what order you do things, because units lose resolve, their staying power, or the hit points if you like, at the end of each phase. So it doesn't matter if there was a shoot-off between, I don't know, the dragon and the acolytes. If one of them's destroyed, it doesn't matter, they still get to shoot back. And it's the same in melee. The action phase is determined by drawing counters out of a bag, and we'll get to that in a minute. So, shooting phase. I have a lot of shooting in my goblin army. Laura has very little. On your side, you have your acolytes, who get to throw fireballs from the tops of their flying carpets. They have a short range fire, so short range is 2 base widths, a short range of 3, but their factor at long range, which is up to 5 base widths, is 2. Your Highland auxiliaries over there have a short range of 2. So that might be them throwing axes and javelins and that sort of thing, or it could just be champions running out of the unit and attacking enemy units that are close by, but they've got a short range of 2. So you can see in this case, nobody is within range in the shooting phase. For the acolytes, there's quite a few things within range, but except for artillery pieces, everybody is always obliged to fire at the nearest target. So your acolytes have to fire at my trolls.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
Do you want to do your shooting first, and then we'll get on to my shooting?
Sure.
Okay. So your long range shooting factor for your acolytes
is 2.
2, that's right.
Yep.
So all you're doing is rolling 2 dice.
Yes.
The defense factor for my trolls is 4+. So that means your target number is 4+.
Okay, let's give it a go.
1 hit.
1 hit.
My trolls have taken 1 piece of damage, so they've lost 1 piece of resolve. Each company of trolls starts with 5 resolve, which means together the unit has a total resolve of 10. It can take another 9 hits before that unit scatters and runs away. Okay. So nobody else on your side of the table is able to shoot. My wolf riders and all of my warriors all have mixed shooting weapons, which means that amongst the chaps there with maces and axes and clubs, there's a scattering of guys with bows and javelins and that sort of thing, maybe some slings. So that gives them a very weak shooting attack at long range. So the nearest target for my goblin wolf riders is this unit here. They only get 1 dice each. they're firing at a unit that has a defense of
5+.
Yep, and you're in shield wall formation. That's one of your traits.
Yes.
Which increases the defense
By +1.
By +1 if you're being attacked from the front. So I'm attacking a front corner, so that means that I'm looking for 6s to hit you.
Oh,
and
nice.
I got a hit.
Got a 6.
That's
Well,
nice. We were rolling dice a little bit earlier today, and I was getting an unnatural number of 1s, so
Yes.
maybe my luck is about to turn. This unit here is equipped with short-range weapons. It's the trolls throwing their stones. So that is, again, 2 base widths. Okay? So you measure from both front corners, and if they're able to reach any one corner of an enemy unit, they're within range. So this company is within range, but this other company, even though this corner is within range, this corner is out of range. So this company cannot shoot, this company can. They're short range, they only get 1. They're also looking for 6s. So that obviously did not hit.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along now. I have a Wyvern. My Wyvern has a breath weapon, a poisonous breath weapon, which has a short range attack. So even though he's flying and he can shoot over friendly units in front, he only has a range of that. So he's not within range. Then we have these units here. They all had these mixed weapons, so it's a long range attack that's quite weak. Definitely in range. So these 3 will be firing at that unit. These 2, this corner is probably still closer than those Highlanders. So they also will be adding their attack to this unit.
Yeah.
So each one gets 1 dice. We're firing to the front of a unit in shield wall, so we still need 6s to hit. Not 1. That's better. More true to form.
Unlucky.
Unlucky. So that's our shooting phase over. We then move on to the action phase. Now, in order to do this, you need either counters or coloured dice, or you can even use a deck of cards if you like. Each character in an army gets 1 counter or 1 card, or 1 coloured dice, whatever you happen to be using. And then you have an additional one for any units that are outside a command range. So this is a default. It doesn't matter what the army is. You always then get an extra token. And these go into a bag or a bowl or a mug, into a hat if you like. You shake them about, and then you draw them out. Now the first one that you pull out, if you have any units out of command range, that counter has to be used to activate them. After that, you can allocate them to whichever characters you like. So the first counter to be drawn out is a white for my goblins. So I need to check to see if people are within command. Characters all have different command ranges. Warlords have command ranges of 3 base widths, captains have command ranges of 2, and other characters can only command units that they're attached to. So my Warlord has a command range of 3. So this unit's in command, that unit is out of command. This unit's in command, the battle wagon's in command, but the giant and the wolf riders are out of command. So I now need to roll on the impetuous actions table for this unit, and this unit, because they're all out of command. Starting nearest to me, I'll roll for my wolf riders. Unfortunately, they're goblins, and I've given them the racial trope of unreliable, so I suffer a -1 to my dice roll. Can't get much lower than that. Okay, a 1 is a fallback. The unit does a 180-degree turn to face away from the nearest enemy. That uses up some of its movement, and then it uses the remainder of its movement to flee off away from the table. That's really unfortunate as it stands, but once a unit starts to fall back, it continues to suffer a -1 with impetuous action rolls in later turns. So what I need to do in next turn is get my Warlord over here and bring them back into command so that they can come back onto the table. My giant now, I get a 2. A result of a 2 is let's not be too hasty. I'm not going to be able to move him this turn, but he's just going to sit there. Finally, the goblins at the other side. Those goblins are also unreliable, so they suffer a -1. So their 2 becomes a 1, which is fall back again. So if you wouldn't mind switching them around, that costs them 2 base widths to turn around, and then the remainder of their movement, which is 1 further base width, they will fall back. So now I'm faced with a problem. I only have, in this example battle, 1 character. Which way am I going to go? Which unit am I going to steady and make them come forwards? We'll find out next turn.
Oh.
Next is a blue. Now, because Laura doesn't have any units that are out of command range, everybody is within either 3 base widths of the Warlord or 2 base widths of the Captain. She can allocate that to either one of her characters.
I'm going to allocate it to my Warlord,
Okay.
Gargamesh.
So now Gargamesh is able to order any or all units that are within his command range to do something.
Yes. He is going to order these shield bearers to move.
Okay.
Yes.
So they have a movement rate of?
They have a movement rate of 2 base widths.
Okay. So units that are individual units, such as the flying carpets and the auxiliaries, they can move in whatever direction they want, so long as no part of the unit moves further than its movement range. Units that are in formations have a much more restricted list of options. So more or less, it's change formation, advance, or wheel.
So we're advancing.
Okay. Okay. Now, you are, unless you engage in combat, you can't come within half a base width of an enemy.
Okay.
Every unit has a grace of half a base width that they can wheel or slide in order to engage with the enemy.
Yeah.
So because you're here at an angle to my goblins, if you wheeled further forward,
Yeah.
you'd still only get to there, so you wouldn't be able to be in combat. So what you have to do is stop half a base width away.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So, is Gargamesh doing anything else?
Yes, he is going to command these boys to move it also.
Interesting. Okay. Also going forwards.
Also going forwards, they're 2 base widths.
Okay, do you want me to do that for you?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah, thank you.
A little bit closer on this side of the table.
Move a bit. Yeah.
So, they get to there. That's also not quite enough to get into combat.
Yeah.
So we're just going to stop them there.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can command as many people as I like.
As many as you like if they're within your command range.
Yep. So I'm going to move my flying guys on their carpets.
So they have a movement range of?
They have a movement range of 6.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And remember, they can move in any direction and end up with any facing as long as they don't move further than 6.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to move them over here.
Okay.
Somewhere. And it's right, they could fly over, isn't that correct?
That's right, they're flying, so they can fly over the top.
So I would like them.
So that would be 5 base widths, and
Yeah.
then there's an extra base width of movement on top of that you could do.
Yeah. I think just there would be fine.
Just out to here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
What about those auxiliaries?
Yes, our Highlanders. I would like them, they'll move to support my shield bearers.
Okay.
So my Dwarven Highlanders have a movement of 3. So they're more than able to come up. Now they're not touching.
That's okay.
Is that okay?
Yep. So units can't support each other directly other than taking part in the same combats. So it doesn't matter if they're touching or not, they're still separate units.
Okay. And
what about Gargamesh himself? Is
Yes.
he going to move?
I would like that, yes, just to keep him within command range of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just move him I think I'll just move him behind here, not connected to anybody.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The next token to come out is another blue, so that will be for your captain.
Yes, I would like to move my captain so that he can support these units better.
Okay, so he can join up to a unit. He has to choose specifically which company he's attaching to.
Yeah.
So which company would you like him to attach to?
Attached to this company so that if he comes in, they come into combat with the trolls.
Okay.
He'll be able to help out, hopefully.
So when you attach to a company, your command range extends from the limit of that company. So it actually increases his command range slightly. But if that unit moves, he has to move with them or stay behind.
Yeah.
So characters can either rally or move in the action phase. So it means that if he's moving with the unit, he can't also rally the unit. It also means that he buffs the unit. So he adds his resolve to the total company, the total unit resolve. So each one of these companies has a resolve of 5. The unit has a resolve of 15. With him attached, it becomes a resolve of 16.
16, yeah.
He also adds a melee factor to this company. So when this company is in combat, he will add +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So the next thing is my Warlord. He has to decide what to do. His goblin warriors right in front of him. If he flies away from them in order to control this unit over here, then they're going to be out of command next turn. However, if he throws them into combat, then they won't have anything to be out of command from. They'll already be engaged.
Yeah.
So he is going to issue an order for them to go in. They're going to move and then wheel and then slide their half base width. So they had 3 base widths worth of movement, so there was more than enough to enable them to do that. So we will then fight during the melee phase.
Mm-hmm.
He now has a decision to make what to do with these trolls. The trolls are big and nasty, but they don't like rows of men with pointy sticks. You know what? He's going to let them go in, so they're going to charge in as well. He's going to order his pump wagon to charge in. So just confirming our pump wagon is within 2 base widths, or 3 base widths, and the pump wagon has a movement rate of 3. So more than enough
Yeah.
to charge in. Our giant over here wasn't doing anything. He was not being too hasty this turn. He was out of command, and he's choosing just to stand there and see what happens. You know, if it goes badly for the goblins, he might just wander off. Who knows?
Stand and have a wee scratch.
Stand and have a scratch, indeed.
That's it.
So, however, I need to get over here with my flyer because I don't want my lovely boys on their doggies to run away. I have a huge movement, relatively speaking, of 5. So I am going to just fly over to here. So next turn,
You'll be within.
these guys will be in command.
Yeah.
I'm sort of abandoning them.
You are, aren't you? The poor little guys.
The poor little guys. If they come back, then they'll come back.
Okay.
So that's then the end of our action phase. All characters have now activated. Because my Warlord is mounted on a wyvern, that means again he either moves with the wyvern or he rallies. So that's his choice. It makes him much better in combat, but much less efficient as a commander. So, moving on to the melee phase. It doesn't matter what order you play this out in, because all resolve is taken off at the end of the turn. Where would you like to start?
Here.
Yeah?
We'll start with my closest blue shield guys.
Okay.
Yes, and we are going to
Fight.
fight.
Okay, so
Fight.
both of us have base combat factors of 3. So let's just, for the sake of the camera, put 3 dice behind each company.
Okay.
Now, my goblins charged you, and we have a thing called Furious Charge, which means that when we charge, we get to add a mighty 3 extra dice. Right? So this is turning into buckets of dice territory. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's relatively crazy, and normally with me, unimpressive. You guys now are receiving a charge with your long spears.
Yes.
Okay, your spearmen and shieldmen. So you get to add an extra +2 dice on the turn that you receive a charge.
When charged.
Per company.
Per company. So that, it is getting all a bit dicey.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'm rolling all of these dice.
Yep.
Your defense factor, as we talked about during the shooting phase, is 5.
Is 5.
And I'm attacking you to the front. You have a shield wall, so that means I require 6s.
You require 6s.
I'm squishy little goblins. My defense factor is 4. Okay. So even though I'm rolling more dice, I need 6s and you only need 4s.
I need 4s, okay.
I rolled 10 1s and 2s.
I didn't do, I did better, but, still a lot of low ones there.
So, I caused 2 resolve loss on you.
Yep.
You caused 5 resolve loss on me.
Yep.
Okay. Each of my companies has a resolve of 3. So added together, that means that unit has a total resolve of 9, and it's already lost 4 of them. Or 5 of them.
5 of them.
In the first combat. So
more than half.
More than half. They're not overly thrilled by that, it has to be said. Whereas you have 5 for each of yours.
Yes, so 15.
You've lost 2 out of 15.
Yeah. So not too bad. Not too bad, boys.
The next combat along. We now have 2 different combats that are happening here. We have the combat between this company and the trolls, and we have a combat between these 2 companies and the pump wagon. Okay? So, my trolls get a combat factor of 5. They charged, so they get an extra 1. And then this company is part of the same unit, but it's unengaged. It's touching at the corner, so they are going to add +1.
Okay.
You have a combat factor of 3. +2 for receiving a charge.
Yep.
+1.
1 for my captain.
That's right. Once again, you're behind a shield wall, so I'm going to require 6s. And once again, I'm squishy, so you only require 4s to hit my trolls. So you've caused 3 more hits on me. And I have remarkably caused 2 hits on you.
Well done.
So firstly, that'll turn that 1 into a 3. Now, if you cause 2 or more hits against a company that has an attached character, there is a risk to that character.
Oh, right, okay. My captain?
So your captain there is a risk that they might have died. I need to roll 2d6. And I should know this off the top of my head. I need to get 11 plus to kill your character. So it's tough. There's not much of a chance that I've hurt your character, but it is possible. Not with my dice.
That would be negatory.
There are characters called rogues, and if you throw them into combat against enemy characters, it makes it much easier. They sort of go in and assassinate them.
Okay.
So, keeping going with the combat, you now have 3 for this unit, 2 for receiving a charge, and 1 for that unit, company supporting.
Oh, supporting me on
so
the side.
So you're at 6 again.
Yeah.
I am at 3 for being the vehicle, +3 for having a furious charge. Now, this time, my vehicle has a defense of 5. So you require 5s to hit my vehicle.
Okay.
Okay. My vehicle, however, is equipped with a big wheel covered in spikes. So we're calling that heavy weapons.
Yeah.
And heavy weapons mean that it reduces your defense factor down to 4, regardless of what you're equipped with. So I only require 4s to hit you, and you require 5s to hit me.
Alright. Ooh, not good.
May as well have required 6s to hit you, but at least I took 1 more hit off you.
Ditto.
And you took 1 off
Off
me.
You. Okay.
So your total unit now has lost 4 resolve out of 15.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. And that's the end of turn 1.
Okay.
So
Great.
coming in now to turn 2, we have shooting. I'm not even sure if they're within camera still. My wolf riders are facing the wrong direction. They're facing that way, so they can't shoot. Your acolytes will have to shoot at the giant as the closest target.
Yeah.
My wyvern only has short range breath attack, so even though he can fire over the top of the dragon, over the top of the giant, there's no one within range.
Mm-hmm.
These chaps are in combat, so they can't shoot. These chaps are facing that way, so they can't shoot. And these guys who can shoot, they're within range but engaged in combat, so you can't attack them in case you hit any of your own, and they are too far away.
Okay.
So your Highland auxiliaries only have a short range
Yeah.
attack. So there's no shooting at all this turn.
Okay.
So the first meeple to be drawn
He's a blue.
is a blue.
So I can.
You don't have a choice, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay. He's
Your
out there
flying
out of
carpets are out of command range.
range. Okay.
Because your captain only has a command range of 2 base widths.
Gotcha. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what you need to do is roll 1d6 on the impetuous actions table to find out what it is that they do.
Alright, let's do this. 4. Impetuous actions. 4 to 6. In your name.
There's a lot of eye rolling and throwing my head at the side of the table.
I may make a controlled action.
That's right.
So that means I can move as normal.
You move them as normal.
Okay. Do I do that now?
You do that now.
Okay. So with my acolytes and my flying guys, I am going to move them into combat with the giant.
Oh, you're daring. Okay.
Oh, I think is that foolish?
Flying,
I'm not sure exactly what I'm up to.
Flying them into combat against anyone. We didn't shoot with them, did we? We forgot the actual rolling of the dice. So let's jump back to shooting phase.
Oh.
You're within short range, so you get to roll 3 dice against my giant.
Oh.
That's a good place to start. 4s will do it, so my giant has taken 1 resolve hit.
Ah, okay.
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 Now, back to your action phase.
Yeah.
If you charge them into combat against somebody to the front, you're likely to die. They're not equipped for fighting in melee. They're good for hitting people in the flanks and the rear, or for standing back and shooting.
Maybe I'll change my mind and fly them off.
You could potentially hit my wolf riders in the rear.
Yeah.
And see what that does.
Yeah, I'll have a go at that. Yes.
Okay.
If I'm going to die with the giant, I might as well have a go at hurting somebody else. So.
All right. Now, the next meeple to come out is another blue. So now you can give that to either one of your characters.
I am going to give it to my Warlord again.
Mm-hmm.
Gargamesh, who I always think of Gilgamesh and the Smurfs.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
Okay. Just thought I would share that. Every time I read that name, I think of the other name. Anyway, so yes, giving it to my Warlord.
Okay, so he can issue orders to anybody within 3 base widths. If he chooses not to move himself, he can also try and rally people within 3 base widths.
Yeah. Yes, he's totally going to rally.
Okay.
We're going to get these guys hopefully feeling a bit better.
The blue boys?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he rallies, that's using 3 dice as a Warlord. And the base number that you need to roll to successfully rally is 4+. However, they're in combat, so there's a -1. So you need a 5+.
You need a 5. Come on, the 5.
None.
Oh, Rubbish.
Everything's coming up goblin green.
Rubbish.
That's all right.
Smelly goblins.
So, what about your auxiliaries? Do you want to do something with them?
These guys?
Yep.
I think I'll move them in
Okay.
to flank these guys.
Yeah, I suppose your options are hit me in the flank and completely destroy me, or charge the fleeing guys in the rear and completely destroy them.
These guys are a bit of dead wood at the moment, so I'm happy just to flank these ones.
That is fair. So all you're doing is wheeling. You've got 3 base widths, so you can just wheel straight into them. Yeah. Smashing in.
Yep.
Nice job. And they're in combat, so unless you're going to ask them to withdraw,
no, they're good.
There's nothing to...
They are pumped up for it, those guys.
We get a white. Okay, I now have a couple of units out of command range over here. This unit is already in melee, so it will just continue to fight its melee. So really it's that unit there. Now, goblins are unreliable, so that's a -1. They ran away last turn, so that's a -1. So I'm adding -2 to my dice roll. 6. Lovely. 6 -2 goes up to a 4. I can now control them.
I am regretting my earlier decision. All right.
Right? So the order I'm going to give them is to about face.
Okay.
I want them to turn and face the enemy. So that's all they can do. No, now they're facing themselves. I want them to face that way.
That is the joy of 6 mil.
Or 10 mil.
Or 10 mil. Sorry, 10 mil.
So that is all I can do with them. It's a formation change for them. They're turning about. But at least next turn, presuming they're still out of command range, they only have a -1 for being unreliable. They don't have a -2 for continuing to flee.
They're a bit...
So they're back in the game, even if they're observers.
Okay.
Okay. Next meeple. Another blue. So that would be Captain.
Yeah.
Captain can ask his men to withdraw, or he can rally them.
We're going to rally.
Okay.
It would be silly not to.
It would be silly not to. So he only gets 1 dice, to rally.
Yeah.
He also needs a 4, -1 because they're in combat, +1 because he's attached to them.
Okay.
So it's a 4.
Okay.
You are not particularly inspiring with your speeches.
No, I'm not. Bit distracted.
Yeah. The last one then is for Scrot Rot on his Wyvern. What's he going to do? So, they're committed. I could try and rally them. They're committed. I could try and rally them. I can give my giant a command. And you know what? I am... We might not get another turn out of this. Recording might run out. So I'm just going to charge him in for the fun. Okay.
There he is, lumbering up.
Limbering up, stretching himself, swinging his club, getting ready, stepping up to the plate.
That's it.
Okay, I'm going to issue an order then to my trolls. My trolls have regenerate, which is a special trait. That means that even if they're in combat, they can spend their action phase regenerating. I roll 1 die for each resolve that they've lost. So they've lost 4 resolve. I'm rolling 4 dice. Getting that all confused today. Any 6s mean that they've been able to regenerate some resolve. So in this case, 1. So that's not too bad. So they go from 4 down to 3. So that is great. Now, these guys are within my command range, so I'm going to order them to about face. So they're at least now facing the right direction. We then have to decide what the Wyvern is going to do.
Someone at the door?
Right, folks. One of the pleasures of working at home was someone calling at the door and the dog going nuts. But we're back. So wherever I left off, I think I was deciding what to do with my Wyvern. He has a movement of 5. So I I'm going to... I have a choice. I can fly down here and swoop in and hit them on the flanks, or I can fly across here and completely devour the flank carpets. I think they're in danger anyway. So what I'm going to do is fly down 4 base widths to here, rotate, and then use my half base width grace to slide around. So that is looking like a more comfortable combat for me, while that is a much more comfortable combat for Laura and her dwarves. Okay, and that is everything that can be done. So we'll take the meeples away and have our melee phase. Did you want to start over there again?
Yes, absolutely. So...
Okay, so your 3 are attacking mine.
Yep.
He is also attacking mine, but he has the berserk trait, so we'll roll his dice separately, because if he rolls any 6s, then he gets to roll
again.
Extra dice.
Yeah. Okay.
So these 2 companies of mine have to attack those 2 of yours. This one has a choice. He can attack straight ahead, rolling all of his attack dice, or he can attack to his flank with a -2. So that's a decision for me to make. Okay. In this case, I think I'm going to attack once to their flank to try and hit your auxiliaries, while these 2 are attacking to their front. So I don't get the wild charge this time because we didn't charge in.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I get my normal 3.
You get your normal 3 for each of them.
For each. Yep. Yep.
And then your auxiliaries then, they get 3. And they've got a furious charge.
Yep.
So they get an extra 3.
Another 3. Okay.
But as I say, we'll roll those separately, because if you get any 6s, you get to add extra dice.
Okay, brilliant.
So my attack against your auxiliaries then.
We'll do.
2. I needed a 4, didn't get it. So I caused no hits on them.
Okay. So I am attacking...
You also get an extra 2 for hitting me in the flank.
Oh, lovely. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice.
Exactly. Up from a base of 3. And you need 4s.
So that's 4 hits.
That's 4 hits extra. So for the sake of it, let's just leave a little 4 there. So we'll remember that. And then do you want to roll?
Well, I need to roll the 2 6s.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see those. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So that's an extra 2 hits.
Okay.
Now that doesn't continue to explode.
That's it.
That's
okay.
it. So you've already caused more than enough to destroy my unit.
Okay.
Okay, but for the fun of it, you can also roll for your spearmen, because they're there as well.
Okay.
So they need 4s. My guy's fighting back now against your spearmen. I need 6s.
Okay. I get 3.
3 more. Okay. So I caused 2 onto you. So that changes your 2 to a 4. You've now caused 9 hits on top of the 5 that I already had, which is 14. My total breakpoint or resolve point was 9 for them. So they are gone.
They are in bits.
They are in bits indeed.
Yes.
So they're gone. Okay. Now, over here, these 2 companies, or this unit of 2 companies, is fighting here. So they get 5 plus 1 for his support. Okay? And we will do them separately from them, because they both have heavy weapons, so that will have an impact.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Trying to think back before the conversation, before the door went, they fought last turn, so they don't get a charge factor. They charged in this turn, so they will.
Okay, yes,
okay?
That's right.
So let's fight here first. So again, you have 3. Plus 2 for long spears against monstrous opponents, plus 1 for your captain.
For my captain. Okay.
You need 4s, I need 6s.
Okay. Oh, I got 2.
Okay, I also got 2. So we will change my 3 up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
We will, yeah, sure, we'll just put an extra 2 there
Is that okay?
for now. Yep. Now, your captain was part of that company. I caused 2 hits. That means there's a chance that I killed him. Not much of a chance,
No.
but there we go. Okay. Now, here, this company must fight this wagon. This company has a choice to fight to their flank against the wyvern or to their front against the giant.
They're in trouble.
They are in trouble. So -2 to attack a unit to their flank.
Yeah.
Either way, you require 4 to hit him or a 5 to hit him. So you may as well just put all of it straight forward.
Yeah, go for the giant for sure. Yeah.
Let's resolve this first.
Okay.
So my battle wagon starts with a base of 3 and a furious charge, so it goes up to 6.
Yep. So I start with a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
And +2 for being charged.
Yep.
So you're receiving a charge with your long spears. You require 5 to hit me. Because I have big spiky wheel, I require 4 to hit you.
Oh dear. Okay, 1 for me.
So, and a further 3 for me. So, did I charge last turn with them? Damn the people at the door.
I don't think so.
Trying to think how I already had lost damage. Anyway, we'll carry on. We'll say I charged this turn.
Okay.
So how many did you cause to me?
Just
one?
the 1.
And I'm causing an extra 3 to you. So it's really mounting up now.
Yeah.
Over here, I have a giant with heavy weapons. He's got a big old club. So he has a melee factor of 6 as a base, +1 for charging. And he needs 4s to hit you.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have
3.
3 plus 2.
2 for the charge.
Yep. So you cause 2 on me.
Yep.
I cause 5 more.
Oh dear.
On you.
Oh, good roll in there.
This is a lot more brutal than we had when we were playing around earlier. So, and now the true brutalization
Oh, for goodness sake.
is my Warlord. My Warlord gets 2. He has a magic axe, which gives him another 1. Then his beastie adds an extra 4. We charged, gives an extra 1. We're hitting you in the flank, gives an extra 2.
Yeah. I wonder how this is going to turn out.
Your defense factor is 5. You don't have a shield wall because I'm hitting you in the flank.
Okay.
2 more.
Not so bad.
Not-
really. That
not
could have
so
been a
bad.
lot worse. But
So let's work out what this actually is and rationalize that a bit. So we have 5, 10, 16.
well, I only have a resolve of 15.
Plus 1 for the captain.
16, yeah,
so that is 16.
16.
So that combined assault has broken your shield wall.
Sure has.
Shield walls are incredibly tough, but by getting onto your flank, well, that should have clinched it, but really it was these 2 heavy lads in the front.
Yeah.
Okay, last combat is over here. You have your little charging chaps.
Yes.
Okay, they have a combat factor of 2. They charge, so it goes up to 3.
Okay.
My chaps over here, in fact, they couldn't have turned around because they were already engaged in combat. They can turn around next turn as an action. So, because you're hitting me in the rear, you get +2.
Okay.
Okay. My Wolf Riders have a combat factor of 4, but they're having to fight to their rear, so that's -2, and they do not add support.
Support. Okay. So what do I need to get?
You only need 4s,
4s.
and I need 4s.
Okay. Nothing.
So I cause 1 hit on you, and you do no hits on me. That's pretty dumb.
That's awful.
So
That's awful.
The last
The
thing...
stars are not aligning today for me at
The
all.
stars are not aligned at all for the dwarves. You misread the entrails when you were sacrificing your...
I absolutely
whatever it is
did.
dwarves sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing to cover then is we've got 2 units that have just broken in combat. When units scatter, they cause a ripple of resolve loss to all the units around them.
Mm-hmm.
Larger units cause more resolve loss, smaller units cause less resolve loss. So, in this case, my goblins here are a 3-company unit. They cause anybody within 2 base widths to lose resolve. Mm-hmm. If we have a look there, that unit at the back is within 2 base widths.
They actually are.
They are a larger unit than them, so they cause 2 hits. So they suffer 2 resolve loss for watching their friends flee. Right? So remember, resolve is not just casualties, it's also the willingness of the companies to sit there and take a beating.
Take a beating, yeah.
Over here now, we have a dwarven unit that has broken and fled.
Oh, yes, we have.
The captain dies with them because he was embedded in the unit, so that's automatic. This unit then has a ripple of resolve loss that sticks out in 2 base widths in all directions. So it doesn't reach as far as the flying carpets up here.
Yeah.
It does reach the blue boys. Okay? Because the red boys and the blue boys are the same size unit, it only causes 1 resolve loss on them. Okay? If the blue boys only had 2 companies in the unit, or 1 company, or the red boys had 4, they would have caused a ripple of 2 resolve onto them.
Farewell, my brave warriors.
Farewell, brave red dwarves. So that's a couple of turns of fantastic battles. In order to win a battle, you need to either kill all of your opponent's characters or have more than 50% of the units that they deployed on the table break and flee. So in this case, I've only lost 3 and Laura's only lost 3, so neither of us are yet at a breakpoint. But you can see that when the next turn starts up, I've got some guys here who are all a bit bloodied. They're within command range. These chaps out here are now outside of my command range again, so I won't be able to intentionally turn them around. These guys over here are outside of my command range, and they've already lost 2 of their 6 breakpoints, so they're in danger. For Laura, the flying carpets out here, even though they're in combat, they're not going to run away. She can't get them to do anything else. They have to stay there and continue to fight.
Yeah.
While she has these 2 units that are in fairly good condition. So the battle could still go either way.
It could. It's going to take a lot to get those guys where I would like them to be.
They are very slow and very unmanoeuvrable,
yes,
being in their big unit like that. So those are the payoffs between small units and big units, I suppose.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, everyone, for watching. If you've got any questions, sure, shoot us a message either below the video or contact me through the blog. Thank you.
Thank
Cheerio.
you. Bye.